Hi guys, it's time for our reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible by Sally Lloyd-Jones. Today we're going to read about the treasure hunt. Do you guys like treasure hunts? Do you like Easter egg hunts? Yeah, it's so much fun looking for things that are hidden. While you've been home, have you had a treasure hunt in your house? That would be a fun thing to do. You could hide some of your toys and have your brothers and sisters find them. If you have plastic Easter eggs left over from last Easter, you could have an Easter egg hunt in your house or around your house. Yeah, treasure hunts are so much fun. I've seen where people have made tape lines in their house to follow to find things, or put strings through their house to follow to find things. It's all kinds of fun ways to have treasure hunts. Let's read about a treasure hunt. This is from the true account of Jesus telling this story in Matthew chapter 13. One day, Jesus was telling people about God's kingdom. God's kingdom is wherever God is king, Jesus told them. It's wherever God is in charge. It's where he fills your heart up with his forever happiness, and you stop running away from him, and you love him. Remember, we said to run away from God means to not want to talk to God or listen to God. That's what it means when Jesus says to stop running away from God. But sometimes people couldn't understand things very well. So Jesus helped them by telling them stories called parables. Jesus said, God's kingdom is like a hidden treasure. And then he told them this story. There's everybody sitting around listening to Jesus tell stories. So much fun to sit around and listen to stories, isn't it? I wish I could have heard Jesus telling stories. Jesus said, Once upon a time, there was a man working in a field, digging. So there he is digging. But what he doesn't know is that in that field there's buried treasure. So dig, 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 clink, clank, clunk. Uh-oh, his shovel bumps into something hard. Hello, what's this? He picks it up, dusts it off. It's a chest. It's rusted and locked, but creak, he pries it open. What he sees inside takes his breath away. Beautiful, glittering, gleaming, twinkling, sparkling, precious jewels. It's a treasure chest. Do you want to see the pictures? Here's the man digging for treasure. Here he is digging out the box. And here's the treasure inside the box. He wants that treasure. He needs to get that treasure. He must have that treasure somehow, some way. Even if he has to sell everything he has so he can buy it. He quickly buries the treasure again so nobody else finds it. He runs home, he sells everything he has, he takes the money from the sale and goes and buys that field. Now, if he owns the field, he owns what's in the field. So he now owns that treasure. The treasure that's buried in the field is now his. He runs back and digs up the treasure again. There it shows him digging up that treasure again. Whoop, there we go. Jesus said, coming home to God is as wonderful as finding a treasure. What does it mean to come home to God? It means to stop running away from God and to run to God. Remember, we said that means talking to God and listening to God. Saying, God, I want to live your way. I want your spirit in me, helping me to live your way. That's what it means to run to God, to come home to God. You might have to dig before you find it. You might have to look before you see it. You might even have to give up everything you have in order to get it. But being where God is, being in his kingdom, That's more important than anything else in all the world. It's worth anything you have to give up, Jesus told them, because God is real treasure. God had a treasure too, of course, a treasure that was lost long, long ago. What was God's treasure? His most important thing? The thing God loved best in all the world? God's treasure was his children, us. That is why Jesus had to come into the world, to find God's treasure and to pay the price to win them back. And Jesus would do it, even if it cost him everything he had. And it did cost him his life to buy us back from the enemy that was in charge of us because of sin. Yep. But Jesus loved us so much that he was willing to give up his life to get us back, to be back and to get us back in a right relationship with him, because we are God's treasure. Do we treasure God? Is he more important to us than anything else? Are we willing to give up a little time in the morning to spend time with him, to spend time talking with him and listening to him? Are we willing to do things his way instead of our own way, so that nothing stands between him and us? No sin. We need to see God as the greatest treasure ever. He is much better than any treasure on earth, much better than gold, rubies, diamonds, Easter eggs, candy, video games. He is much better than anything. So I challenge you today to go after that treasure, to spend time with God. Talk to him. Tell him about what's on your heart and ask him to speak to you, and take the time to listen. See you next time. Bye-bye.